Future foods might be one of the ways to reduce environmental footprint of humanity. Our next speaker will share a vision of how TFTAK paves the way to make future foods a reality. Please welcome to stage Innovation Director of TFTAK, Dr. Ene Viiard.
All right. Thanks so much, Kasper, for the invitation to talk here today, and also big thanks to several of the previous speakers who covered, well, a lot of the topics that I will be talking about here today. So it's a good chance for everybody to test your memory. So what sets us in motion is the market pull. So the market pull from the European Commission, actually, who have set us on a path to become climate neutral by 2050. So that's basically tomorrow. So if we look at the pace at which we're progressing, then the 2050 mark is approaching very rapidly, and we're only covered only 1/3 of the way. So 2/3 is yet to go. How are we doing on that path, and how is Estonia doing? So if we look at the greenhouse gas emissions from agri-food in Europe, then we can see that Estonia is actually at the very bottom. So we have a long road ahead of us. And in order to achieve these goals, then we need to reconsider the technologies that we use, also reconsider our attitudes and our policies. So the European Commission has implemented the Farm to Fork strategy. So this aims to accelerate a transition to a more sustainable food system in Europe. And this means that we need to implement technologies that have a positive effect on our climate. We also need to reverse the loss of biodiversity. And of course, make sure that safe, nutritious food is available for everybody. And it, of course, always helps if this is also economically profitable and putting Europe back on the map again. So if we look at the trends in novel foods, for example, then Europe is significantly lagging behind. And let's hope that our joint efforts help relieve those issues. So now to my main topic, actually. So what is TFTAK? So what stands behind this cumbersome abbreviation? So we are a privately owned research organization based in Tallinn, in Tehnopol Mustamäe. And we're on a mission to accelerate the research of food and biotech. And we aim to transform these traditional heavily animal agriculture-based food systems to food production in bioreactors. So basically the same goals as several of the previous speakers here, who are also our good collaborators. And how are we going to achieve that? By developing new technologies that are scalable, sustainable, and allow us to produce food in a safe way. So these are not stock images. So these are our actual researchers working in our brand new R&D facility located here in Tallinn. So if you would like to come and visit us, just give me an email and we'll make that happen. We'd be happy to show you our new lab. So again, this is a scheme that has been introduced by several today. Good to find like-minded folks here. So what this actually describes is the product co-development approach that we have in TFTAK. That means that we work in very close collaboration with both our customer as well as the end user or the end beneficiary. So how it begins is that together with our customer, we define the idea of their product development or determine the problem that needs solving. Then we carry out development in lab scale, which basically means that doing product development in 1 milliliter to begin with. Then we carry out pilot scale testing, so essentially validating the technology in a 1 liter or a 10 liter volume. And what is our definite strong suit and what differs us from quite a lot of other service providers is that we also support our customers during the technology transfer phase. So when the practical lab work ends, we don't just go like, here's the report and good luck. So we actually go with them to the production and make sure that these novel technologies are implemented in practice. And of course, we get the consumer involved throughout the way, starting with idea generation, but also, of course, we carry out consumer studies in the end. And everybody who has done anything regarding product development knows that there's a lot of moving back and forth between these phases. And if you manage to do this quickly and efficiently, that's where success lies. So now I will run through a lot of our main research activities, but this will be very brief due to time restraints. So if you have any specific questions, reach out to me during the coffee break. So as we try to revolutionize the food industry and taking animals out of the equation of food production, we focus a lot on alternative proteins. So how to extract or cultivate protein-rich microbes or extract proteins from different crops. These are then used in meat alternatives to develop new healthy and tasty alternatives to traditional animal-based foods. Same applies for dairy alternatives. And of course, since health is in our specific focus, then also functional foods, which are, for example, enriched with beneficial compounds or which have been fermented, because this is, again, something that is a request from the consumer. So a lot of different products have reached the market, collaborating with our good customers. And I'm happy to say that a lot of the product prototypes, also here in the photos, will hopefully reach the market within the next few months. So a lot of different options to provide alternatives to, let's say, animal-based original counterparts. So now a bit more about the alternative protein research and development in TFTAK. So we follow two approaches. So one is the cultivated protein. So this means that we optimize and develop cultivation technologies for mycoproteins. So this was again covered by a previous speaker, a field that we really see basically exploding in the alternative protein sector. Then we also have a precision fermentation approach. That means that we use microbes as cell factories to produce proteins and also other compounds of interest to be used by the food industry. But for more of a traditional approach, we also extract proteins. So this applies for locally sourced crops, such as peas, cereals, that provide substitutes for traditional, say, these plant proteins that are widely used, such as soy and wheat gluten. And also to align with today's topic, we also extract proteins and other beneficial compounds from side streams, different agri-food byproducts. So this is again something very interesting also to our customers. So the proteins that we get from the cultivation or extraction are further used for meat alternatives product development. Again, we use a lot of regional crops, side streams, filamentous fungi, and then we use extrusion technologies, apply our knowledge in aroma and flavor research, use fermentation and other techniques to provide a better nutritional value as well. Just a couple of appetizers of the fungi-based foods that we have developed. So these are a couple of prototypes that we have prepared with our partner in a project that should end with a market-ready product later this year. So we're really excited about that. So as mentioned in meat alternatives, our key technology is extrusion. So this is technically not very new. Extruder has been used in food production as well as producing different polymers for decades. But we have really developed these, let's say, these next level combinations of different kinds of ingredients of plant proteins that provide us with these very nice fibrous materials. So these are quite meat-like and can be successfully used in further product development. So our efforts have also been recognized by the Good Food Institute. So this is a non-profit organization actually funding alternative proteins research. So we've been awarded 2 research grants, also to explore the possibilities of oat protein in meat alternatives development, as well as for exploring the challenges of creating salmon aroma. In addition to that, we're also one of the finalists in X Prize. So this is a competition looking to recreate either chicken or fish products, both cultivated as well as plant-based apply here. And these products need to be just as good, environmentally friendly, and also nutritious. And we're hoping to share very good news about this competition later this year. So the final should be this summer. We follow a very similar approach in dairy alternatives. So more protein, more live bacteria cultures, less anti-nutrients, and we use enzyme technology as well as optimizing starter cultures to achieve these goals. So now just a couple of examples. You might think that, well, for example, plant-based yogurt has been produced for decades on a commercial stage. So what is the issue? Well, unfortunately, we can't copy-paste all the knowledge that we have from traditional dairy production. As we see here, behind the black box as well, if we use the same ingredient, for example, oat, apply different processing conditions, different starter cultures, we also get very different results. So these graphs are actually from a pilot study, which shows how differently the microbial cultures behave in a semi-industrial scale fermentation. So it's very difficult to standardize these processes. Also, one of the most difficult dairy alternatives to copy is actually plant-based cheese. So if any one of you has had a good plant-based cheese, then you can raise your hand. Yeah. Oh, excellent. One person. Wonderful. So what we aim to do here is to again find starter cultures, optimize their growth, optimize the recipes, have necessary precursors for them to produce these desired flavor and aroma compounds. So you can see that depending on what kind of base we use, what kind of starter cultures we use, and how we combine them, what kind of conditions are applied, we get a very different outcome and different levels of aroma compounds. So we are very close to unlocking the secrets to producing great plant-based cheese. So as a lot of consumers turn to plant-based products because they appear to be healthier, and one of the key, say, indicators of what they're looking for is that other live cultures in these fermented products, because we all know that beneficial bacteria are the key to our health. So we actually use this metagenetic sequencing-based approach that we have fine-tuned to only detect live bacteria to see how many bacteria are actually present in these plant-based yogurt alternatives. And to our unpleasant surprise, we actually found that for these oat-based products, which are quite popular also here in Estonia, contain close to none of these live cultures. So essentially, those products are not a very good source of the live bacteria. Hopefully, we can develop better ones. Another issue with plant-based alternatives is the content of anti-nutrients. So anti-nutrients are the kind of compounds that inhibit the absorption of different, let's say, vitamins and minerals mainly. So here we measured phytates. So this is one of the major class of anti-nutrients found in plants. And we can see that consuming this very small portion, 150 grams, of plant-based yogurt, not referring to any specific brand, can also already result in a compromised intake of calcium, iron, and zinc. So this is the state of the market today. So what we are currently struggling with and hopefully find good solutions to is how to use enzymatic treatment, fermentation, and other tips and tricks to reduce the content of phytates. So now, how do we actually test the, let's say, the health benefits of both the ingredients as well as the end products? So we have a in vitro platform for that, and also we carry out dietary intervention studies. So we have developed this human gut model consortium analysis. So this basically allows us to assess the effect of different food ingredients on gut bacteria. So this can all be done using this device here, and it can be done in up to 72 parallels. So a lot of different ingredients can be tested at once. And it allows us to select the most, let's say, health beneficial ingredient for further product development. Just an example, how a commercial fiber mixture and a lab-developed milk oligosaccharide promote the growth of gut bacteria. So this is a typical serial batch experiment that we can carry out. As for the assessment of the products, so how do they affect our health? So we carry out dietary intervention studies. We basically recruit participants. We just recently began a new study with over 60 people there. They consume the products. We measure the effect on their blood markers, microbiota, and also different wellness attributes to hopefully then get confirmation that the products indeed promote our health. So one of these studies was carried out with this high-fiber yogurt. You may have seen it on the market as well. So this contained both live probiotic cultures as well as a combination of different food fibers. So what we saw was that the fiber mixture really promoted the growth of these beneficial bifidobacteria compared to the control yogurt. So this was a very good finding for us. And also we determined that if the test subject's cholesterol was elevated, so it was above the normal range, then by consuming this yogurt, we managed to lower the cholesterol. So this was a significant positive effect. We also wanted to bring out an example of an upcycled product here. So this fruit smoothie has been made from apple cider production residues. So that was upcycled and used in this healthy product. And we demonstrated that as a result of the consumption of this smoothie every day, the test subjects' non-HDL cholesterol was lowered, and also to the great surprise for our clients, after the subjects stopped consuming this product, their cholesterol went back to its normal level. So you have to keep buying the product, basically, yeah. What we also saw that during the consumption of the smoothie, the relative proportion of the beneficial gut bacteria it increased, and that of the obesity-related bacteria actually decreased. So several really nice effects. Now, it was advertised that I'm going to also talk about this like future food and say food 2.0. So for that we will briefly mention precision fermentation, or as we like to also call it, food synthetic biology. So what this means is that the customer comes to us with an idea for product development. Then we do the strain development as well as the bioprocess development, so how to make the strain produce whatever ingredient is desired. Then we can also test the ingredient in prototype food products. So if we are talking about maybe a new type of fat, we can test it in a plant-based burger. If it's a new pigment, we can see if it's stable in different kind of beverage preparation processes, for example. And this will hopefully result in a market-ready product. And all of these steps are supported by analytics, of course, that we do the full chemical, physical analysis, sensorial as well, to make sure that the product is indeed, it has a good taste, aroma, texture, if that is desired. The techno-functional properties, how it behaves in different typical food production processes, and of course assessing the safety. So this will provide us with a lot of data about both the strain as well as the target molecule itself, to have these new types of food ingredients that are both safe, sustainable, and of course also scalable when it comes to the technologies. So quickly running through all of the topics that we do in TFTAK. So if you have any questions, I think we have a couple of minutes to address them here. If not, find me during the coffee break, and if you're here tomorrow, then let's discuss as well. So thanks so much.
Thank you for your presentation. Questions?
Thank you. I understand that this might be a proprietary information, but can you make a rough estimate between your customers that come from Estonia and customers from abroad? What's the ratio? How many customers? What's the percentage?
Of course, Estonian customers typically, well, they have smaller problems or smaller issues that they turn to us with. So I'd say roughly 1/3 of our revenue comes from Estonian companies, 1/3 from companies abroad, and then the remaining third is basically basic science projects, since we're also a positively evaluated R&D organization, then we do.
When it comes to customers, the split is basically 50-50.
Basically, yes, but of course these are companies of different sizes. So anything starting from a startup who only come to us with an idea, to large corporations who want us to optimize a very specific part of their already industrial scale process.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have more questions?
Hello, thank you so much again for the presentation. It was very nice, and the topic is very revolutionary. I have a quick question. I'm not really knowledgeable about food technology and stuff, but would your product, since they are based on like plant-based and stuff, would they have like a expiration period longer, or like the validity of the usage period, would it be extended because it's coming from like plant-based, or it's not related?
It's specifically, well, not related, because spoilage usually occurs due to, well, it occurs faster in products that are higher in protein, higher in moisture. So if we make these ingredients or products as dry as possible, use packaging that doesn't allow oxygen spoilage, then they should have a shelf life just as long as the meat-based products. Like so it depends a lot on the product category, really. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So one more question.
Thank you for your good talk. It's always fascinating to see when you start from the test tubes and then you end up in the product. So I liked awful lot of the chains you presented from the test tubes to the product. And myself, I'm working with the regulatory affairs. So I was thinking that how are you incorporating the regulatory affairs in the research and development? Because that's really important along the whole way, because usually, at least in my work, when I see that the companies are coming to my level and asking help with the regulations, I might come with the question that, with the answer that, sorry, we cannot do anything now because we should have thought about that a lot earlier. So it's not compliant with the regulations. We should have changed this and this, or we should change this and that. So how you incorporate the regulations from the very beginning, that in the end you are in the position that the food is compliant with the regulations. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question. It depends a lot on the product. Because, for example, with these, let's say these not novel food category products. So if we're talking about different kinds of functional foods and foods that have been enriched with any kind of component, of course, these have to comply with the regulations as is. And this is definitely something that we take into account every step of the product development. If we're talking about novel foods, then our role is to usually inform our clients about these regulations, about the bottlenecks, and provide them hopefully with the analysis that they need to apply for a novel food permit. So we don't specifically carry out, let's say, all the work that is needed for our customer to go to market. We have partners for that. Thanks.
So, more questions? Okay. Then thank you for your nice presentation.
Thank you.
And now we will do a short coffee break till 15:55. And then we will have 2 more presentations.